Hey everybody, this is John from Code Planet, and today we're going to be taking a look at another Node.js framework. This one's called Flatiron. It's pretty cool for a couple of reasons. It really builds itself on being this extensible framework that takes like a very unopinionated approach. So basically you have all these little plugins that you can call on and use however you'd like. It's pretty neat. It also is one of the only Node frameworks that comes with a scaffolding tool. So for those that are familiar with something like PHP's Laravel or Ruby on Rails, anything like that, we've got some really cool command line utilities that we can use to build an app really quickly. So to get started, I think the first thing that we're going to want to do is go ahead and install Flatiron globally. So you can just do an Npm Install -g Flatiron. And that'll take a second, it'll run, it'll do the install, and after that we'll get this Flatiron command that we can use in our terminal. Alright, so let's wait on this to finish up. There we go. Okay, cool. So now that it's finished, if we go back over here to the docs, we can see that they have these really nice scaffolding commands. So you can do something like this. You can go Flatiron create, and then we'll just call our app, Flatiron video or something like that. And it's going to go ahead and it's going to prompt for a few things. So I'll put my name in, John Cooperman, put a description, a sample app for this video, and a home page. I'm just going to put Google right now, but you'd put your page in there ideally. So now what we can do is we can change into that directory, and we can see that it's already scaffolded up a lot of different stuff for us. So it's built this app.js, which is a real basic, does its require statements, and then puts together this router, which basically is just going to have on the root, on the slash path, it's going to send some JSON. It says hello world, and it's also going to listen on port 3000. So that's kind of nice. It does all that scaffolding busy work for you, so you don't have to type it. The other thing that we're going to see is it's already generated a package.json for us, which we usually do with an npm init, but it takes care of that for you. And we can see over here it's got its dependencies all set up already, its dev dependencies, and it's got some tests put into place. Really cool. One last thing I wanted to point out is all that name, author, homepage information, it moved into the package.json. And then last, if we look inside this test directory, we got nothing in here so far. Cool. So that's where we'd put our tests eventually, and we do have a command running vows --spec. So that's pretty cool. So right away all we have to do is run node, right away all we have to do is do an npm install, right? So we got to get those local dev dependencies all installed for us. And that'll go out and that'll fetch those, and then after that we've already got our basic kind of hello world set up. So we should be able to just run node on app.js like this, and it should be listening on port 3000 for us. So if we go over here to the browser and check it out there, we've got this thing returning JSON, hello world. Last thing I'm just going to cover in this video, just to kind of try to stick consistent with the other Node videos that I've done, is instead of returning JSON, we want to just return, a string into the HTML. So if we go back into app.js, we can see here on line 10 that it's this response.json hello world. And so the two things that we're going to do, it doesn't assume a response type by default, so you can specify with JSON like that, or you can do a little something like this. You can do this.response. And then write a header, 200 status, and then we want to do the actual content type. So some of you may have seen this type, this style in, I guess more, not rudimentary, but less opinionated, like more bare bones frameworks. So you really do have to specify like what the content type is that it's going to return and things like that. And then though what we can do is we can go here, and instead of this.res.json, we can do a this.res, and then we can change this to say just, hello world. And so yeah, what we're doing here is we're telling the response type, which is an HTTP 200. We're saying that we're going to be sending down the content type of text plain, and then we're saying what that plain text is. It's going to be hello world. So if we save that and then run our app.js again, go back here and refresh the page, we'll see just hello world this time instead of the JSON. So it's a pretty cool framework. There's a bunch of plugins that I like to make separate videos for. One really nice thing is just that scaffolding tool. If you're making a little sample node app, something like that, it's really great to be able to get started with just running one command. So yeah, that's all for today. Check back in for more Flatiron JS videos. The website is flatironjs.org.